Solitude is a word that used to make me feel completely out of place. I viewed being alone as a failure, a situation that I had to avoid at all costs. Whenever you tell people you're going out by yourself or taking yourself on a solo date, their reaction feels so unnatural, and it almost like as if they can't help you but look at you with pity, as something is inherently wrong with you. Also we spend how much time of our lives in our company. Physical solitude is rarely normalized. I was terrified of that judgment. And but over the past years my perspective shifted completely. So today we're going to talk about being alone. But yesterday I wrote down my thoughts about being alone. But before talking about it, I'm gonna tell something, you guys. I had my own bangs, and I'm so happy they look good on me. And before I did it, I had two thoughts: like it was either going to look amazing on me or be a totally disaster. But it turned out to be great. How they good look. If you watch my previous videos, you can see the difference. So, anyways, get back to the topic. You know, looking back, I was always terrified of being alone and viewed it through a lens of fear. And I thought, like, when I walked alone or when I went solo dates, people would judge me or look down on me. And it almost like everyone was looking at me with pity and laughing behind my back. So it was the exact type of reaction that makes me feel completely out of place. So, and because I was so afraid of being alone, and that is why I strived for long-lasting friendship, and that is why I became attached to people way too quickly. And I came to realize that I was ready to do almost everything, even obsessively, to keep a friendship alive. 2 years ago, I fell out with my very close friends, and there are no words to describe how heartbroken, desperate, and even exhausted I was at the time. It felt like I was trapped in a dark room, and there was no windows, no doors to open it. There was simply no way to escape, and the world felt like far too dark, and I couldn't bring myself to do any outside activities alone because I was paralyzed with the thought that what happens if I have absolutely no one around me. And but as time passed, I came to realize that how much I lost myself in those relationships, that I had forgotten who I truly was and what I actually wanted. During that quiet phase, I made many self-discoveries, and I realized how many things I had done blindly just because others were doing it. I thought I liked it, but in reality I didn't. The person was doing all of them wasn't me. It was just someone who was afraid of losing people, or like was ready to do everything to keep people around. And in my previous relationship, there was no true compatibility. And I knew that from the very beginning, but I continued with it because I was terrified of like staying in solitude, and I sacrificed my own wants just for the sake of security. After that realization, I changed a lot, and I swung to the complete opposite extreme side. Like I became hyper independent, and I started enjoying my alone time, like, and the happiness I feel in my own company is the maximum happiness I'll ever experience. And I felt like I was complete control of my own life. But then I realized that hyper independence is just another defense mechanism. And no, I'm not no longer afraid of like being alone. But what I fear is getting too comfortable in isolation, and I will close off myself from the world forever. And that is really problematic for me. What I value most in friendship is true compatibility. And I want to leave a room for new people to come into my life and learn about them and cherish their presence. And I want to build friendship with people who share a sense of humor as me. So I used to be scared that if I didn't hold onto people tightly, I was like running out of time to make beautiful, meaningful relationship with people. And now I realize that there is no need to rush anything. And right now I'm learning that to forgive myself, because it was myself to blame that for getting cuffed up with people in the past. So in a way, I feel like I'm back to one square, but this time there is a huge difference, because I'm aware that who I am, what I want, and what I'm aiming for. And I am whole, and my fear of being alone will continue to go down as time passes. So thank you for listening to my thoughts, and take care of yourself. I'll see you in the next videos.